Okay, so we have just started recording. I don't know if the listeners can pick up on that. Victor, do you think?
I sure hope so.
Oh, there, yeah. The microphone works better if it's in front of you.
Alrighty, everybody.
Yeah,
welcome to the Transmit Podcast.
Hey, that's my
I'm
thing.
your host,
welcome.
Victor.
No, I'm your host,
I'm
Spike.
Samantha.
No. I already said Spike, and no. This is no. This is all over. Podcast is canceled. No, okay, actually, no. Let's just keep going. We're going to establish dominance later, right?
I don't think you should say host, though.
What? I thought... Well,
we're recording right now. We'll talk about that later.
I mean, let's air our dirty laundry. You've been jealous of me and my clout since day one. It's all over your face.
Him? Jealous of you?
Of my podcast clout.
That's cute.
I got this sweet Rode Podcaster Pro. I just ordered a table. Like, things are coming up, Spike. Let's be fair. Like, who's mastered the art of putting up foam paneling? Only took me a week. Boom.
Congratulations.
So have we started?
I mean,
yeah,
we are recording right now. I was hoping you were gonna have a little more back and forth, but
he's just not fazed by you.
Well, I don't even be phased. Engaged would be nice. Oh, wait. Here we go.
Well, I need to finish eating my apple.
Yes. Podcast gold. Anyway. So, let's see. You've got a Belle Delphine thing. Wait, is your thing... Wait, yeah, I heard you a minute ago, right? How? Check. They're all... What is...
Can you hear? Oh, there we go.
There you go. Oh,
We need to replace these cables. This is terrible.
I think they're good. They're just spread out over too much space. There we go.
No, I don't know about that.
They are pretty good. Listen, I'm like hopping them between two cables right now, and once we get into that room, once we get that table in there, it's all going to be gravy.
So are we ready for the Belle Delphine Report?
Yes. Intro music to follow. There, Belle Delphine Report. So okay. So what's this video called?
Plushy gun.
So let's see. This is her putting a shotgun in her mouth.
Oh.
And, yeah, that's trigger alert right there.
Yeah, that had a suicide trigger warning.
Oh, good. She you know. Now she always has a charming smile, even after she got popped in the face right then.
Whoa, she has a MacBook Pro.
Oh, good. And she has a dildo gun that seems to be made out of porcelain, so you might want to warm that up.
She has a really good gamer setup.
She really does. Oh, she's got the X cross on her nipples, the cross tape. See, this is the thing. It's like, it is erotic. It's just confusing as well.
She's really trying to stand out.
I think she's succeeding too. Like she she is succeeding. And she's getting shot with an airsoft gun. That hurts right in the ass. She's servicing that dildo gun. Hey, do you think you have to warm that up?
What, the dildo gun?
Yeah, it's made out of porcelain. Do you think she should dip it?
No, I don't think.
Oh, got slapped again.
I don't think you should use it.
You shouldn't use it at all for that?
Yeah, you shouldn't use it because it's glass and it could break inside of you.
Okay, well, it's like porcelain. Is that the same risk?
Yeah, if you have really strong
Kegel?
Kegel walls.
Now, see, she seems to be like perpetuating the stereotype that, she's just lounging in the fishnet stockings, which I like to think is real. Yep, more. Would you call that clapping?
She's twerking.
Okay, well, but the butt cheeks are coming together.
She has more thigh and butt fat than you'd expect.
Right? Up top, petite. Lower half, it's a little
There's
more.
enough to jiggle.
Yeah, enough to jiggle. Do you think she does like some squats or what?
That's up in the air.
So I have some thoughts.
Okay, what are these thoughts?
I don't know whether to be like supportive of her female empowerment, which I guess I am, but I don't know about this content that she chose to use.
Well, she knows how to hit the horny button But she never like showed, even like in her OnlyFans. I watched a video where these guys like.
Oh, you subscribed to her OnlyFans?
No, I watched a video on YouTube where they critiqued it because I'm not going to buy an OnlyFans from someone I know who's fooled people with that before. And so these guys, the title of the video is "We bought Belle Delphine's OnlyFans, so you don't have to." And apparently, it's just more confusing. Like they can't show it on YouTube, but it doesn't show anything. And I think that's her shtick at this point. Is she's like it's like a erotic art or what's the
She charges $35.
yeah. She knows she can sell it. She can sell her bathwater for how much? For about $30.
Yeah, I don't remember how much it was, but it was quite expensive for a small little jar of water.
Yeah, when I vaped it, it didn't seem like anything that special, to be fair.
OnlyFans is actually catching a lot of flack right now.
Oh, because of that
Bella Thorne.
Yeah.
So they started changing the algorithms and stuff, and
they can't charge more than $50.
$50 for one thing.
Yep.
And they've also changed the payout schedule, so a lot of people that were reliant upon, weekly payouts now can only get paid once a month, and so they're kind of over.
Yes, they are.
Pardon my language. By Bella Thorne, some stupid little celebrity who.
Well, yeah, she said, "Oh, this is going to be a not safe for work picture," and if she did that, they wouldn't have gotten all that blowback. But then she didn't do that, so her customers were not satisfied.
But it's also she's someone who has millions of dollars that's like, I'm doing this as an experiment, and then just takes all of this traffic away from people that are actually using the platform for livelihoods.
If it was her new like revenue stream, that'd be a little different. Like I'm just going into this full board. Like who's some director's daughter was like she's doing like OnlyFans or something like that as well.
Spielberg?
I think maybe Spielberg's.
That's Spielberg's
Yeah,
daughter.
if it was just like, listen, I know I'm wealthy, but I want to do this. This is my profession now. I'd be like, whatever.
Is that the equivalent of like a rich kid wearing like torn up jeans?
Yeah, that's
like
that's
torn
the
up
new.
T-shirt.
Yeah, it's gotten way more extreme. You can't just wear like a band T-shirt from some band you made out with or had sex with. You have to actually like do sex in the internet to be edgy. Oh, Cheap
Yeah.
Trick. That's the band I was thinking of.
If you want to be like all the other cool poor chicks.
Yeah, you
I've
gotta
heard.
you gotta sell your bathwater and your used garments.
It's just really.
Yeah, it was messed up. Like I see it from more of a customer service standpoint. Like that's why they got the blowback. If she had if there wasn't false advertising, a whole bunch of people wouldn't have gone back and then complained to the parent company, and they wouldn't have had to change a bunch of stuff. If she was just honest with what she was selling.
Mm-hmm.
And so but then there's the fact that she is a celebrity, and that automatically draws away from a whole bunch of people. So I think if she did it less flippantly. I think that's the word. Is that the word I'm looking for this one?
Sort
I
of.
don't know.
Frivolously.
Both kind of work in this
Yeah,
situation.
Because, I think, all she thought was this is going to be a wild thing from a Disney kid. Or former Disney kid.
Yeah, former.
And she didn't think about, people use this for work. All right, so let's see here. Oh, I found out, unless you have anything else to say about Belle Delphine. Still super hot. It's erotic performance art, and I approve.
We should keep an eye on Belle Delphine.
We should absolutely. We should get some music and for the Belle Delphine Report, little intro package. Well, I will. I'll find some music. All right.
Put together just like an anime
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
sounds.
Yeah. Listen, you think I don't know some anime? Yes. I do. Okay, so I found out.
Might not be safe for work.
Yeah, possibly. Now, I found out I have secret stapler knowledge.
What does that mean?
Okay, so for like a week and a half, all these receipts at work that we have to hand to customers were stapled so that instead of the little prongs going inward, they sprung outward. And it drove everyone nuts, and no one was talking about it for some reason. Like, I sit there and I kept thinking, like, oh, I need to turn the little thing around that they're using to staple.
Mm-hmm.
But no one who works with it knew. And when I showed them, when I did the thing, the look on the manager's face, this woman named Day, literally, so whenever I go up to her, I say, oh, what a lovely day.
Surprised you haven't gotten punched out by now.
Oh,
How's it spelled? D-A-Y.
D-A-Y.
Oh, D-A-Y.
Just straight up Day. It's like, oh, what a day. I mess with her all the time. It's great.
She probably hates you.
No, we have a precocious back and forth.
Precocious.
Yes. So, but when I showed her, I hit the little thing, the stapler thing that the stapler strikes, and turned around. The look of relief on her face was like, it looked
Palpable?
like palpable. Like, it's like somebody pulled the gun away from her children. Like, it, because apparently it had been driving her insane. Like, why is this doing this right now? So
Very interesting.
You've never had any stapler?
No, I've never had that problem.
No, never.
It's like, this
Really?
I have secret stapler knowledge.
Never really used.
It's like the
staplers.
most mundane thing you've ever talked about.
Yes, and
Yeah, I know.
usually I was hoping for a little more back and forth.
Very riveting.
I was,
There's your back and forth.
Yikes.
Riveting tales.
Well, I
of
mean,
stapler
I'm curious.
knowledge.
I'm curious, like, because like this affected her. So why didn't she like spend like a minute like figuring out why? She just kept hitting the stapler. It kept driving her nuts, but then she kept like moving on with her day. Like, is this why people let like, you know, they drive around with like a flat tire for a week and a half?
Who does that?
I've seen some people do that. Like, I've lived in some janky neighborhoods too. Some
I've
do that,
never seen someone drive around with a flat tire that long.
Oh, I have. Or
Like maybe a couple miles down the freeway because you're not like that's a really weird
yeah, well, I've seen it.
rocking sensation in the car, but
I've
not
seen
like
it. They'll just hit they'll just go to they'll go to like the gas station, air it up. It'll last like maybe a day tops, and they'll just have
Okay.
this slow leak going on in their car, and they'll put up with weird stuff.
instead of going to Discount Tire, will they'll literally just patch it for free?
Exactly. So
They
like,
will?
oh yeah,
Yes.
it's great.
You didn't know
dude,
that?
Dude, it's awesome.
That's
Well,
what they
maybe
did to
I'll
your
Fix
tire.
my tire then.
Oh,
There's nothing wrong with your tire.
nope. He's the one that wants. He's been driving. He's been keeping it from you. Vic's been keeping secrets from you.
No, we've already actually taken it to Discount Tire to get the tire patched. You don't
Okay.
remember that?
I do. I'm just trying to make it more interesting.
Okay, so I got.
Okay.
I was just trying to make it interesting.
Yeah, make it. Listen, you couldn't do the stapler thing. That was a bridge too far. But this
That was a reference from The Room.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind then. Okay, well, I don't watch it like every other week like you guys do.
We don't watch it that frequently.
We do watch The Room every other week.
Yeah, I've seen.
But
Listen,
we've memorized every line of
Like-
Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
yeah, I've seen like tapes wear out. I've never seen the DVD for The Room wear out, like that you wore it out.
Wow.
Like, it was weird.
It's not that bad.
Okay, so I got to eat in a restaurant for the first time in a while, like inside. There's this small like Italian place, and it felt kind of like like I was breaking rules.
Why?
You've done more than we have.
Well, I know I've done more. I know I went to
You
see.
went and saw a movie.
And listen, we followed guidelines, but it just felt like, and that too felt kind of like I was breaking rules finally because we're getting to go out and do things again.
Yeah, but I got the text from the county today.
Yeah.
Our case count's going back up again, so we're probably going to hit tier 1 purple and be closed down again because
Oh, God.
people don't know how to keep their masks on and to stop going so near other people.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Like our tier system is dumb as fuck. Like why? Who goes with colors?
That's like the terrorists.
It's like yeah, exactly. And that was
System.
confusing. Anything more than 3 colors, 4 tops, if you're really clear, is what you should do. Or you just do numbers. Say okay, 1 to 10, 1 is the worst, and that way you know. But this way, it's like purple is the worst, not
But
red.
it still is.
Wait,
Tier 1 is purple.
Yeah, exactly. Tier 1 is.
They have both.
is
For people who are visual and people who are not visual.
You just do the 1 then. I don't know, but then it's even more confusing because you put purple as the worst. Like I have no idea how you come up with that, and there's no green because why would we ever have a safe like a state where we get to go out and reclaim our lives?
They'll have green when it's not this bad, I guess.
I don't know. You can really tell the local government did that. Well, just any government did that.
It's the state government.
Well, it's like
I stay in.
the cards from soccer, I guess. I don't know.
It's like, oh yeah, that's a warning green card. Like what the? Just how about you just have someone inject you from the game real quick? Like soccer is just so weird. Why can't they play football like normal people?
But yeah, so we might have to go see a couple movies in theaters real quick before everything closes back down.
Yeah, you definitely.
Or we can be shady and just watch it on the down low.
We'll figure that out. But let me tell you, Tenet is worth it on the big screen.
Is it Tenet or is it Tenet?
I like to think of it as Tenet.
How did they pronounce it in the movie?
I don't know.
Did they say it?
Oh, they probably pronounced it a whole bunch of different ways. I wasn't thinking about that. I was trying to keep
Tenet.
track of the time stuff they were doing.
Tenet. That's like
Because technically the word is pronounced tenet.
Yeah, but I like
in
mine
Venom.
better.
Venom.
Venom?
Symbiote. Symbiote.
Symbiosis.
Symbiote.
He's a symbiote. And everyone was all talking shit about the way she pronounced. And then when in the actual movie, they like recut it so that she pronounces it symbiote.
Yeah, well, yeah, because there's gonna be a bunch of nerds out there who's like, that's not what it is.
I mean, I think technically that word can be pronounced both ways.
I know.
I'd have to
It can.
double check, but it's just, one
I think everyone
preference.
in the comics world is just used to saying, "Oh, the symbiote, the Venom symbiote,"
Yeah.
but then like she says symbiote, and everyone's like,
It hurts my ears. It's like a cheese grater on my ear. Okay, so let's see. I think I need to read a sponsor copy, and then we'll talk about Underworld. You guys,
Okay.
why are you laughing?
Did you write it down?
No, I'm just. Well, it was written down for me. This was brought to us by a sponsor. You don't write your own sponsor copy. That's insane.
Okay.
Okay, so today's show is brought to you by gender reveal parties. Gender reveal parties. Are you tired of the humdrum of just telling your friends and family what your child's gender is? Do you want mystery? Is the thought of creating life not enough for you? Is the immediate dopamine rush of your idiot friends having an "oh" response what you need? Well, then consider going out in the wilderness with pyrotechnics as an untrained civilian and just set them off.
Oh, it's so real. Because the entire state of California is on fire right now.
Yes. Listen, we deserve to burn this year, apparently, so just, go nuts out there. Gender reveal parties. Try yours today. All right,
Can 2020 get any worse?
"So this,
don't say that.
so these fires were started by a gender reveal party."
That's what it looks like.
Some of them up in like LA County, I think it was El Segundo, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere up in LA. That
No one's gonna stop me from setting fireworks off near this dry brush
It's the hottest time of the year.
during the hottest time of the year.
Every piece of shrubbery is brown. If that's not a hint for you to not set off fireworks, I don't know what is. Actually, oh wait, they have a little more here. Consider our late 2020 package, where we give you several automatic weapons and the plans to conduct a hostage situation gender reveal. Oh, geez. You know what? I think I'm gonna not cash that check. Okay, so let's talk Underworld.
Oh man.
Yeah, these. But before we get to that, just there's fires. It almost there was one. I think it was yesterday, here in San Diego. It was almost like red. It was like orangey, kind of in the sky. It's like
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the world during the day has had a sepia tone.
it really
lately.
has. It's been beautiful.
When
And
I left my mom's house earlier, dropping my cousin off, and driving west and watching the sun setting, it's just this fuzzy orange globe
Yeah.
in the sky.
is that why it's been cooler? Because that's the overcast.
No, that was actual
That was a relief though. 'Cause,
marine.
Yeah, it was cooler
layer.
today, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, and yesterday.
Been cool the last couple of days, but I think it's supposed to.
Yeah,
Next week's supposed to be a high.
I was
90s.
thinking-
Oh yeah, I went into that restaurant and when you go like in the truck and you're drinking water, you're fine. But then when you get out into like an air conditioned room, you realize, oh, everything in my bag is like 80 degrees, and this
Yes.
water is like 85 degrees.
Yes.
That's tea now.
Yeah.
I was thinking that for a second when it was cool, I was like, oh, this is like the meteor, like the nuclear winter.
Yeah, this
This
is
is like the fire winter that's being caused by like all this ash in
Yeah.
the sky. It's making it cooler now.
All right.
August, September, and October, literally fire season in California.
Yep. Okay, so Underworld. I gotta leave for training in 20 minutes. So, you don't like vampires and stuff, right, Vic? You're not a big fan.
It's just the aesthetic.
Now, is it this
Is it
aesthetic?
just the aesthetic? Because you were like, vampires. Oh, they can do this. What is lichen?
You do sound like that. That's odd. You sound exactly like that. So,
well, they're always wearing like these leather pants.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're always wearing black, and they've got like a black shirt.
and Kate Beckinsale.
This is how vampires look. It's
Oh,
it's kind of like a slightly built dude.
Yep.
He's very pale. He's got dark hair. He's got like kind of big teeth when he's normal,
Yep.
and when he turns into a vampire, they get bigger. And then he's got like a
Wait,
black.
Wait, they get bigger? Who gets bigger in this movie when they're a vampire?
No,
wait,
the
normally.
teeth get bigger.
Yeah, okay.
The teeth get bigger. And he's got black leather pants, and they're kind of like flared at the bottom.
Okay, I don't think they have that in this. But Kate Beckinsale does apparently wear leather and like not spandex, like rubber.
It's like vinyl.
She's wearing like a vinyl outfit, and let me tell you, she is poured into that.
Kate Beckinsale, honestly, what year did this movie come out? 03?
Yeah, in 03.
She has not aged in 17 years.
Oh, good for her.
She's aged like what, 2-3 years maybe max is what she looks like.
Yeah, but
she
and like
is
wine,
still stunning.
She aged like wine.
It's insanity. So, I don't real quick trivia. Okay. I don't know that. I told Victor earlier, but I don't know that you know this.
Okay.
So Kate Beckinsale used to be with Michael Sheen, who plays Lucian.
Yep.
And actually, maybe I did tell you, but I'll continue. I'll continue talking about this because I still think it's kind of funny. We did talk about a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then they did this movie. They were both cast in this movie, which was directed by Len Wiseman. And then Kate Beckinsale, who had a child with Michael Sheen, left him and married Len Wiseman.
Yep.
But apparently, like they were all super cool. She's since divorced Len Wiseman, to my knowledge. I think they were married. And then she's dated, like Pete Davidson, like major props to that dude. But you said, Spike, that that was one of those things where you're like, Pete Davidson's dating Kate Beckinsale.
Then in Ariana Grande.
It was Ari, and then it was Kate Beckinsale.
He's got like game that's invisible to other men.
Yeah,
like,
he has it down.
What does he have?
What is he doing? It's like he's just like he's just attentive.
Well, Ariana Grande says that he's got a very large third member.
God damn it, that's my problem. I mean,
he just sends dick pics and they actually work.
They actually work.
He's like, here's it next to a shampoo bottle.
Oh. Does it have abs? Yeah.
But then, Spike, you were saying that you had read something about the second Underworld movie.
Yep.
Where Scott Speedman was filming the sex scene with Kate Beckinsale in front of her husband, and he was like,
"Oh, this is weird.
This is uncomfortable."
And there is direction there, so he has to like tell this other dude how to like grind up on his wife. So yeah. Listen, a little more wavy motion there. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Can we get some more light on my wife's breasts, please? Good. Okay. Now kiss my wife. Good. Now tell her she smells nice. Oh yeah. Oh God.
I think something actually similar happened. Take it off the topic just a little bit with Vince McMahon and Eric Bischoff and Vince McMahon's wife.
Oh yeah.
Like I think Vince McMahon was there directing the scene where Eric Bischoff was like.
Making moves on
Linda
McMahon,
yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay, so I like the
so this what happens.
This movie does have a lot of generic vampire tropes.
It does.
So Selena, she doesn't fall. She drops from the building and just lands like she just fell from like a car. She's like, whoop.
When we watched that picture, it's like her knees should have broken.
Yeah, well, she's a vampire.
I know, that's what I said.
Yeah, she's a vampire. What do you expect?
Well, okay, okay, vampires have super strength.
Yes, they have
that's
super
another
strength.
trope.
That's another. Well, yeah, and that's common. And I like the shootout they have in there because like one of the other things I saw, I think it was at some interview, but it was either her husband / director or somebody else. If you notice, she doesn't need to wear sunglasses when she does the fight scenes because she doesn't blink when she's shooting those guns.
Right.
Like if you ever see Point Gross Blank, one of the things you'll notice is like Dan Aykroyd, he like shoots the guns with glee, but he blinks like a lot. And it's really that's why
because he's not accustomed to.
Yeah, even like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's done a bunch of action movies, he'll like a lot of times wear sunglasses for mostly that effect. And she just like shooting, doesn't matter what's going on. And
so she's a badass.
Oh, she's badass. Yeah. They're following the Speedman, which is he, aka Michael Corvin. And I like this because the big black werewolf.
Ray's,
yeah. I call him BBWW. Big black werewolf. And
okay, can we not?
BBWW. He goes with the action style of shooting where he doesn't take cover. He just points his gun with one hand and just sprays the area. And like the vampire he's fighting is like taking cover, reloading tactically, and he's just kind of just standing there. Up, I'm out.
He didn't care.
He did not care, even though they have silver bullets, which have varying degrees of effect, I found.
So I do want to say that I think part of that is they show you in the Underworld prequel that raises one of the older werewolves.
He is.
Based on, the timeline between the prequel and Underworld. So he's
Probably stronger.
probably not as worried about it, which they show when he goes back to Lucian and the doctor.
He gets those vampire disc throwing stars. Selena just drills them 4 times. Those are awesome.
Yeah, so he's just not really phased, I think.
By anything, really, because
he's older.
Yeah, because they go out into the subway area or the tracks, and the vampire for some reason just lets him transform into what he knows is gonna just murder him.
So as you get older, you get stronger. So it's like the inverse of humanity.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
especially with vampires. That's what they talk about. Victor was the oldest and strongest.
But technically he's not the oldest.
Technically, he's not.
But,
But of their coven.
Is he the first?
Not the first, no.
Vampire?
Marcus is the first.
Yeah.
The very first
And
vampire
in the second
ever?
movie, in the second movie, you'll see more of him.
How did he become a vampire? Did he just
He
catch?
was bitten by... So they go
he was
into
bitten by a bat?
Didn't you watch the movie?
Not in depth. So the whole...
Wait, this was in the first one?
This was in this movie.
So they don't... Yes. The whole purpose of the Lycans tracking down Michael Corvin is that he is a descendant of the Corvinus line who
And
has
they wanna-
this genetic capability
To merge the lines
of
between
merging the lines.
Yeah.
Because there were allegedly 3 children that came from Alexander Corvinus. He had Marcus, and then his brother William, and then a third who never was bitten or transformed anything. He stayed human.
Yeah.
And so because they transformed into monsters, they didn't have children. So Marcus was bitten by a bat, and William was bitten by a wolf. And then the third...
That's the legend.
Right, that's the legend. And the third child stayed human, but
And you'll
theoretically he would have had that genetic capability, and then it would have been passed. And so that's why they're tracking down his descendants to see if they have that capability of merging and becoming a hybrid.
So next time you watch a movie, perhaps you should watch the movie.
Well, I was actually paying attention pretty good this time.
This
More
time.
so than
So you went from 10%
Son.
to 15% is what I'm getting here. Okay.
Yeah.
So Selena
I went from 10% to 75%. All right.
okay.
We'll call it
'Cause-
50%.
So yeah, let's split the difference on that one. So Selena finds the vampire
Celine.
Celine finds the werewolf hideout. Well, she hears it, and she decides to beat a hasty retreat. Lucian, you may know him as the Twilight vampire who goes ah.
Aro.
Yeah. Way more masculine in this role. He's breaking up fights. He's obviously the civilizing factor in them, trying to get them to act more like people as opposed to wolves.
He's also the official oldest werewolf.
Official oldest
And
werewolf.
the first one that was ever able to stay human.
Yeah, I also
or
like
in human form.
they had the old stealth train where it's super quiet in there, and then she peeks around a corner and wah, train. Because you never hear
Yeah.
those coming
No,
Yeah.
never.
ever. They kind of cut to the to one of the menu. I think there's 3 scenes where she busts open the doors to the mansion and into the most. This is what you probably hate, the most generic vampire hangout.
Yeah,
ever.
what's with those vampires?
They just
That
sit
scene-
around all
okay,
day.
So there's
do
5
nothing.
or 6. I'm gonna say there's 20 scenes in this movie where the main vampires that live in that mansion are just walking through that room.
Yep.
Wherever they have to go through, that for some reason they always have to walk through that stupid fucking room. Where there's vampires and
Just
they're just
hanging out at the
they're
blood
not doing
fountains.
anything. They're just relaxing and chilling and making out. And
Yeah, exactly. What
Because
you do?
they're old.
Yeah,
they
they're-
don't have to do anything.
Yeah, all the working vampires are down in that area where they have the head.
Yeah, they're not death dealers. They
Yeah,
just...
I like their shooting range where it's elevating like stone busts of the
Yeah,
same
that's
dude. What the
fantastic.
hell is? I love that. It's paper targets. No, that's not affluent enough. Get in rare.
Yeah,
busts.
and they're always rich for some reason.
Well,
Why are
they've been alive-
vampires always
because
rich?
they're old and they've accrued wealth.
But the whole point, I think, of why they show the busts instead of using paper, which is infinitely easier to get, although I guess plaster's pretty easy,
Yeah.
is that they want to be able to show you that they've copied the Lycan's UV rounds into silver nitrate rounds, liquid silver nitrate,
Yep.
right? So that when you shoot it, it pours out of the holes. I think
Yeah,
maybe
it's-
that
it's
was
so
probably
that
the whole reason.
It's whole.
to
So
have
it's also the movie can happen basically.
Yes.
Okay, so this night they're coming up on some on an awakening ceremony because the elders take turns being awake and ruling the class. And I like her blonde friend who's super treacherous.
Erica.
Erica. I call her blonde vamp. she's like, you should definitely wear this dress, and I can see through it. Like, I don't know what she's going to wear under that. Hopefully a bra, or at least the Belle Delphine, like, X cross tape. Because I fully just see, like, air and daylight through that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Craven, he has, like, the hots for her, and he's like, she's going to be my queen.
You're going to be my queen.
And she's
you
not
need to be
having
by
that.
my side. And she's like, no.
Yeah, so she figures out.
He doesn't treat her right either.
No, he does not. So she finds out they're after Corbin, and he, Corbin, whatever. Like, handsome Mick generic dude.
Corbin's from Fifth Element.
Corbin Dallas.
Corbin Dallas!
And they have, like, one of my favorite shootouts where, like, the werewolves are, like, running after them, like, along the walls.
Oh, yeah, when she gets Michael to the safe house?
Yeah, well, but first, she, like, decides, okay, I can't, like, take all these werewolves, so I'm just going to shoot a hole through the ground, like, in a perfect circle around me.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
It was so dumb. But
and I guess that building didn't have any other layers or anything.
Nope.
It was just that,
but
like, 6-inch.
The whole movie
floor.
is based in Hungary. So, like, you think American-style architecture, or even, like,
so it is
main European architecture, as opposed to Hungary, where there's a lot of older buildings.
I like how everyone there, except for a couple people, have a full-on American accent.
Yeah, well, no, they're mostly British. There's only a couple
of... Well, the
Corbin,
Corbin,
he's an American, and his whole story is that his parents or something died, and he moved to Hungary, which is where his family's from, to do his medical internship.
When did they cover that?
I don't remember.
Exactly.
It was extended novels.
Ah, there we go. You read the novels?
I read stuff.
Yeah, okay. I don't believe that for a second.
Okay.
All right, yeah, he does live in a dump, though. It's a bit of a dump.
It is.
And this poor guy, he's had like 2 shootouts in one day, and he also was expected to still show up to work after being in that subway shootout.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so sad. So let's see. Oh yeah, Lucian, he gets to him and bites him to get a blood sample, and that cannot be like an uncontaminated sample. It's all in his mouth, and he just spits it into a vial.
I know.
Yeah, but if you have like that much,
I guess
like it's not all of it is touching your mouth.
I hope so, because I was like,
but I did think about that today.
I was like, ugh.
There's like some of his like spit DNA in there.
Oh yeah, I love that bit where he's like chasing after the car. She gets him in the car, and they drive off. And he like runs up behind it and stabs into the car with that extendo wrist blade,
which is legit.
Oh, that's awesome! And that kind of sets up her passing out later. But before that, he like gets hit by the car and just does a sweet hood roll maneuver.
Yeah, and then he lands on his feet.
I mean, he could have easily
just like a cat.
Yeah, he could have easily. Wolves known for landing on their feet. That's the saying.
Oh, is it?
Just
wolves,
like a dog, cat.
Just like a large, large wild wolf. I do like she's sitting there like back off when he's trying to like check her out or not check out her wound. It's like, I'll be fine. And literally 1 second later, she passes out and flips the car into the water.
That was ridiculous.
It's like, I'll be fine. Crash. And apparently vampires can drown.
Well, no.
Well, no,
she wasn't drowning. She was, all the
needed
water was
medical
in there.
aid. She needed medical aid, and apparently she needed to spit up that water. It's not like other
they still breathe.
I see other vampire stories, they don't need to breathe.
That's true.
So...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't like these changing rules of vampires.
Yeah, wasn't like the Buffy series they don't have to breathe?
Buffy series, Anita Blake, a whole bunch of them. I guess in this one they carry virus. They can say this is a viral vampire thing.
Yeah, it's in their saliva.
They're not walking corpses.
Right.
Right. So you get
This is why Victor doesn't like these stories, because he feels like there's so many rules and things that people change and bend, and nothing stays true.
It's
to
mostly
the
the aesthetic, though.
Okay, so we talked about the stone busts. Like, this is where a bunch of like dialogue happens, where she finds out the history of the war and how Craven supposedly brought back the skin of Lucian, which we know is not the case.
Well, that is his skin, however.
It is his skin, but it's not like his death.
Right.
And it was still
Craven
all like,
didn't actually kill him.
It was still all like rubbery and sticky.
It was
when
preserved.
he ripped it out.
Yeah. I do like they finally get Michael back. Does he show? No, she goes and hunts him down, and brings him back to the lair, and that's where Blonde Vamp is checking him, like perving out on him kind of hard.
Yeah.
She's like got the gossip going.
Because she's all about this pet.
Yeah. She got the gossip going, and then like she sees the bite, and the only time you ever see this in these movies where she jumps and like clings to a ceiling somehow.
It's like a cat or something.
Yeah, like a cat.
That you scared.
And she starts hissing, and like he just dives out the window immediately, like he's trying to dodge child support. Because
Jesus.
because she's coming at him. I got that view, like you are gonna pay for this child, and he just dumps out the nope, peace.
He yeets himself out the window.
Oh man, that was pretty good. They have very low security at that tomb. You know where the elders go. Like they let her just show up and like just look at the corpses, I guess, and like get in there to like wake up Victor.
Yeah. So she loses Michael.
Yep.
Because she ends up taking him back to the safe house. She gets imprisoned and all of that, and then Erica helps her escape. She gets this information. Blah blah blah. So she like awakens Victor with her blood after doing the whole memory thing, and Craven finds out, and then she gets put into solitary confinement basically.
Yep.
Because
In her nice room. Go to your room, young lady.
Because she violated the covenant, which is that vampires and lycans are not supposed to hang out, but Craven's already been doing that.
Yep, and also not like skip the line of succession.
Right. So Amelia was supposed to be awakening Marcus, but Celine came in and awakened Victor. Because
we find out later that Victor changed her, and also killed her family, and lied and said it was the Lycans that did it.
Right.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. Wait.
Did you miss that?
Oh, God damn it. Okay, so she goes out, gets him to an interrogation room, and then comes back to the house. They go back and forth to this mansion. They get a lot of use out of this mansion.
Yeah, I started losing track.
It was a little weak on that point, and there's another scene where she busts open the doors to the vampire lounge, and she's not wearing a jacket this time, so you get a great shot of her heart-shaped butt. Mm-hmm. And that was my favorite bit of the movie.
And
I have it written here.
All the other vampires are all freaking out. They're like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
And Victor's
working vampire world.
They have a little talk about not waking him up early. Victor's kind of angry, and he's kind of ticky. Like I'm not sure if that's a character thing or if it was because he was.
No, that's Bill Nye.
He was like, duck, duck. Whenever he's angry, he's like,
like he's clearing his throat. So but they show that not only is Craven like buddies with Lucian,
he's having traitor meetings.
He actually allows for the Lycans to completely butcher Amelia and the council, and that's when like Celine has like escaped, and she ends up bringing the doctor back.
Yep, and they have a little. They do all the exposition dump about the mixing the bloodlines, and then Doc drops the dime on Craven, and he sees that coming. He gets himself out of there quick.
Oh yeah.
To go hide under Lucian's skirt, and this kind of leads us to the big fight, the final
battle.
Fight.
Victor tells her, "Your absolution will be yours if you kill
that handsome
the Lycan."
Yeah, that Michael. I love the way he says that. And here's where we find out that Celine is really the only really good death dealer, because she's the only one who knows how to do the thing where she jumps and shoots. Like she's like doing like backflips over Lycans while she's shooting. Everyone else is just kind of staying on terra firma.
Yeah.
And they're decent, but she's the only one who realizes, I have super strength. I could just do a flip.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of like Trinity from the Matrix. Reminds me of that.
They had a lot of Matrix-like.
Yeah, this was that
imagery.
Time. Yeah.
Like when they showed that she was looking at his apartment number on the screen, and like they
transition,
zoom in and they did that transition to it on his actual door. I was like, that's a total Matrix. And then like towards the end where she's got the sword and the blood's on it, and they kind of do like this sound that's like straight ripped from the Matrix.
It takes like 15 seconds, a turnaround, and drawing his daggers for his head to like slide off finally. But before that, Craven is there and with his lackeys, and he has this one whip lackey who like decides to take on a full-on werewolf with the whips, and it was not working. Like I don't know what made him think this is my time. Knife whip guy.
Yeah, he took on Ray's, which is like
that was
and
interesting.
And then he kills Ray. Then Victor kills Ray. That's how they really sell his power. Yeah. Like he just takes the werewolf by the throat and then like breaks its neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that was pretty awesome. And Selena bites Corbin after he gets shot with silver nitrate.
Craven, who's there, like sort of ends up kind of double crossed a little bit.
Yep.
And Michael opens this door, and Craven's standing on the other side.
Yep. And he
And
gets
Craven
shot.
shoots him with the silver nitrate, and then he's like dying after Craven has already shot Lucian.
Yep.
And, you get through all of this other stuff happening, bombs exploding.
Lucian
and
stabs Craven in the
he
leg.
stabs him in the leg.
Breaks off that blade. It was awesome. He still escapes finally.
Fantastic.
And you see him immediately in the next movie. But that was still very satisfying to see.
Yeah.
And Craven and Lucian's all like, bite him.
Because, so they talked about, our theory is that if he's been envenomated by a pure blood elder,
Old, powerful vampire.
that would be,
And
that
she's
would
pretty
change
old.
him. Well, it's not that she's old, because she's not that old.
Yeah.
She is directly changed by Victor, so she is
That works.
purer.
Yep. And that's when you find that's when he dumps the exposition about how he admits to killing Celine's family, and it's like I'm gonna go protect the species like I was supposed to do. And then you see the power of this hybrid, and he starts doing like the DBZ thing where he's like appearing behind people. He's moving so fast.
Victor was really disappointed with that transition.
Listen,
because it was like
it's Blue. Hear my boy.
he was
Blue?
gonna be like the ultimate vampire werewolf hybrid, right? And it was showing him transform into like this big kind of like werewolf kind of monster creature.
And then it kinda
He was
went
getting
down again?
buff, right? Yeah, and he was getting big. And then when it was done, it was just like a dude painted blue.
Yeah, and really his back seemed to have more muscle than his front. If you notice that, like he doesn't have a six pack. I would have bought it more if he had a six pack. But he had very like underdeveloped chest muscles and huge like back
And
muscles.
he was kind of lanky, and his pants were too baggy, and it just made him look weak.
Yeah. So yeah, and Victor almost wins. It was kind of cool. He has more luck with fisticuffs than he does with the sword.
Yeah.
And so he gets him in that headlock. It's like time to die. And that's when like
She
Celine-
after she gets like her ass kicked by Victor.
Yep. See, it's teamwork makes the dream work.
Mm-hmm.
I did like at the very end they showed like when he punched that werewolf in the face to kill it, and it was just dripping into Marcus's tomb. That's the end. Is you see his eyes open.
Yeah. So he killed the doctor before they all left to go find Lucian.
Yeah.
Like he slashed him across the face, basically.
Yep.
Like ripped his whole face apart.
And so and I was asking, why do they have like insta shackle like mount points in the tomb room? It's so the movie can happen.
Yeah.
And so that's the end of that. And look, I have to go to training pretty much now, so I'm gonna do that. So listen, I think this was actually a really fun movie, especially when you watched it at the time it came out.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I was in middle school when it came out.
Oh, yeah, it
and
was-
Yeah.
I liked it.
Oh yeah, Kate
Y'all
Beckinsale.
were in high
Oh,
school.
man. That was awesome. So watch Underworld, and maybe we'll do the Underworld Evolution next.
No more vampire and fantasy movies. You guys are just doing fantasy and vampire movies just to like.
Okay, you know what?
He hates it.
We'll let Vic pick next.
Well, we have a couple of
oh yeah, we gotta do Bronson. How about we do Bronson?
Bronson and Warrior.
All
we
right.
could do dueling Tom Hardy
Ooh,
films.
dueling Tom Hardy's good. All right. So that being said, watch Underworld, and thanks for listening to the Transmit Podcast.
I'm your host, Samantha.
I'm your host, Spike.
I'm
I'm your host, Victor.
God, you are both subservient to me. I swear to God.
No.
This is-